and welcome to our first Women's Supa-Liga match of round 10. We have the West Coast Cobras sporting the green kit against the Western Devils in black. And our team lineups for today, for the West Coast Cobras, we have number 14, Kimberly McCartney, number 3, Sarah Ranieri, number 7, Marco Kant, number 1, Annie Leyland, number 22, Crystal J. Brooke, number 6, Quinn Doan, number 16, Kizanne Mulder, and for the Western Devils, we have number 9, Laura Waltman, number 4, Lindsay McDowell, number 29, Andrea Priato, number 21, Penelope Clayton, number 14, Lauren Baker, number 31, Charlene Lai, and number 1, Becky Musail. And the West Coast Cobras starting off with possession. Ranieri, Jade Brooke, flick in the middle, and Kant gets onto the ball. Almost cleared away by Baker, only as far as McCartney. Ranieri, ball across the face, cut out by Baker. Gets past Kant. She won't be able to keep that one in her possession. Jade Brooke on the ball. Ranieri. Kant. Crystal J. Brooke. Kant. McCartney looking to flick past Clayton. McCartney past 2 defensive lines. Clayton slow to get herself back defensively here, and it's a good chance early for the West Coast Cobras. And Khan's ball across the face, cut out by Musail. Clayton. Oh, and that's a poor touch from Laura Waltman. Rare occasion from the Western Devils number 9. Ranieri, ball over the top. McCartney flicks towards goal, but it's over the bar. Clayton, flick forward for Waltman. Apologies. Priato. Baker. Can't get past McCartney, and it's a foot race now. Clayton gets there. Musail plays out to Clayton, and the West Coast Cobras backing off for a half press. Leyland did well there to get her hands up and over the head of Andrea Priato. Clayton touch to Baker, flick, cut out by Ranieri. Shot from Waltman, touch from Leyland. It'll be a corner ball. Baker on the corner. 1-2 with Clayton. Waltman. Flicks into the middle. And there's a touch there from Leyland. Clayton on the corner. Priato. Clayton. And deflection there means the Devils will get another corner kick here. Baker over the kick. Has Waltman at the top. Waltman. Clayton. Looks to shoot. Intercepted by McCartney and falls to the hands of Leyland. McCartney pressed by Clayton. Jade Brooke has Ranieri, and that's a slow ball across the court. Jade Brooke potentially should have dribbled a little bit further into the middle of the court there. McCartney. Ranieri with the shot. And deflection there. Didn't quite see who that one came off. But it is a Western Devils side ball. Clayton to Waltman. Back to Clayton. Waltman again. Lie. Clayton, pressed by Kant. Gets the ball over the top. McDowell slides over that ball and she's taking her time to get up off the floor after that one. The Western Devils shouting for a free kick on that one, but I have to say from this angle, I didn't see the foul.
No, unless the referee tells you stop the clock, you don't stop the clock. So there. Stop the clock. So until he says stop the clock, you can't do it.
The time has been stopped as the referee sorts out Lindsay McDowell. She seems to be walking well. Play will restart through Leyland. Plays the feet of McCartney. Ranieri down the line. Mulder. Oh, and Mulder's surrounded by feet. Instead of playing the ball, tried to dribble her way out of trouble. Almost dribbled her way into trouble. Luckily, Clayton took that touch out of play. Brooke. McCartney. Ranieri. Mulder. And she shoots that one high. Clayton. Flick forward to McDowell. She touches off of her head to the hands of Leyland. Jade Brooke. That's a goalkeeper throw from Musail. Musail plays Waltman, and again the West Coast Cobras electing to drop to halfway. Not pressing high on the Western Devils side. Waltman. Back to Clayton. McDowell down the line finds Lai. Pressured by Mulder. Lai. And the ball wasn't placed on the line, so it will be a turnover to the West Coast Cobras. McCartney. Cochrane putting in her first minutes on the court. Clayton. Lai with the shot. That one's wide. Leyland took a touch on that one. Clayton. Ball across the face, and Leyland got her hand to it. Unfortunately, she sent it into the back of the net. Oops, apologies. Not entirely sure why the instant replay didn't work on that occasion. Good news for anyone who wanted to watch a replay from our previous match. Clayton flicks forward for Waltman. Finds Lai in the middle. Out wide to Baker. Pressured, and Mulder touches that one out of play. Clayton. She shoots that one wide. Leyland, ball's long. ball touched the net at the top of the court, so it will be a side ball for the Western Devils side, but that was a great ball from Annie Leyland, finding Kazan Mulder up high there. Kazan did extremely well to bring that ball down, and that was a rushed clearance by McCartney. Definitely had time to put her foot on the ball there. Waltman, Priato, pressed by Mulder, and she gets out of the pressure, and there's a 4v3, sorry, and Lai forcing that ball forwards. Leyland to restart play. Plays can't. And she slips that ball through two defenders, but she can't find the feet of Cochrane. It's intercepted by Waltman. Lai. Down the line to Waltman. Waltman gets the shot off. She sends it wide. Mulder. Flick over the shot for Can't. Can't bring that ball down. Waltman on the side kick. Again, West Coast Cobras dropping to half. The Western Devils in no rush here. They're up 1-0 at this point, and it is definitely on the West Coast Cobras to try and win possession back, and under no pressure. Lauren Baker with a poor touch, sending that ball out of play, and the West Coast Cobras going for a quick counter here. McCartney makes her way up the court. Oh, and that's a hard ball to Cochrane. She did well to bring it under control. Ball's out of play off the foot of Waltman. McCartney to the back post. Couldn't quite get control. Luckily, the West Coast Cobras maintain possession here. Ball down the line to Can't. 1-2 to Cochrane, and Cochrane gets the ball to the back post. It's just played in behind McCartney. Priato to Waltman. Back to Priato. Flick over the shot. Finds McDowell. Baker. Diagonal ball looking for Waltman. Annie Leyland shields that one out of play. She plays the ball to Cochrane, and Cochrane just lapsing concentration. Lets the ball roll under her foot. Priato didn't quite place that ball on the line, and that's a turnover. Cochrane lucky that the Western Devils couldn't capitalise off that mistake. McCartney back roll to Cochrane. Mulder down the line to Can't, and she tries to play through Baker. Ball's out of play. McCartney gets around Priato. Looks for that diagonal ball, cut out by Musail. McCartney, Mulder. Looks to go around McDowell, and she gets the shot off. Sending it wide. Baker, flick forwards, Mulder does well. Can't get in front of Baker here. Baker will go backwards. Can't, electing to press. Probably a good idea for the West Coast Cobras, at this stage to start putting some pressure on the Devils. And another poor touch there from Baker. Sees the West Coast Cobras start a attacking possession. McCartney. Flick over the top, and would have been a very difficult ball for Ranieri to bring down. Criado, flick down the line. Just curves out of play. Mulder. Flick over top, and that one's definitely hit the roof. And that ball from Clayton finds Lai. Mulder couldn't get herself in front of the pivot there. Can't, looking to go around McDowell. McDowell comes away with it. Clayton sends that one high. Timeout called by the West Coast Cobras. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half, and the Cobras have so far been sitting back at halfway, and I dare say it'll be worthwhile for them to start putting some pressure on the Western Devils high up the court so they can win the ball and get those shots off nice and early. They've been giving the Devils a little bit too much respect on the ball. As we've seen so far in this half, the Devils do make mistakes. They do have poor touches, and so the West Coast Cobras can definitely capitalise on those instances. Whistle blown, calling teams back onto the court. Both teams very slow to get back on the court. Cards might start coming out of referees' pockets here. Play restart with Annie Leyland. Brooke. McCartney. Ranieri, and that was a good dummy by Ranieri, a great idea. Just wasn't quite aware of the situation. And the West Coast Cobras now putting pressure on the Western Devils, and just as I say that, Brooke steps off her player, gives Clayton a little bit too much time on the ball. All of the West Coast Cobras players actually stepping off their player a little bit too far here. Ranieri initiating a press, and again, Kant was a bit slow to get the pressure on Clayton there. Brooke looking to play forward, deflects off Waltman, falls to the feet of Kant. McCartney. Brooke. McCartney again. Ranieri. Ball down the line for Kant, and that one rolls out of play. The West Coast Cobras being instructed to press, and not a single player putting pressure on Brooke. Couldn't get in front of Waltman on that occasion and gave her an easy possession. Bit of sloppy pressure from the West Coast Cobras so far. Ranieri gets her foot in. Kick in, taken by Clayton. Flick over the top. Leyland. Can't. McCartney. Ranieri. Oh, Ranieri plays that ball down the line. Neither McCartney or Kant can get to the ball. And again, the West Coast Cobras kind of half pressing, half not pressing here. Making it a little bit easy for the Western Devils to play through the spaces in their defense that they're creating by pressing up. Just by giving them too much time on the ball. Ranieri looking for the diagonal ball to Kant. A bit of a late tackle there from Kant, but the Western Devils have the advantage. And the rolling foul called for that late tackle by Marco Kant, and the Western Devils with a corner kick here. McDowell with the volley, sends it wide. And now the Western Devils electing to sit. Mulder to Brooke. McCartney, great cutout. Excellent read by Waltman, but she can't find the net. Ball over the top, finds Mulder. Musail gets her hands to the ball. The West Coast Cobras have a side kick in. Ranieri, Mulder with a left foot shot, deflected, blocked by Priato. Cobras with another side ball here. Brooke. Ranieri, I don't know who Ranieri was trying to play that ball to. Been a few of those balls down the line from Ranieri so far today. It's almost like she's just hoping that someone will be there. Brooke on the corner. Ranieri with the shot. She sends that one high. Cobras trying to press again. And again, not enough pressure. And a poor timed sub. Almost giving Waltman a 1v1 with Leyland there. Oh, and Clayton trying to play through about 3 defenders for a diagonal ball to Priato, and it's cut out. Mulder. McCartney, back to Brooke. Ball in the middle. Cochran tried to flick over Messiah. It was a good idea, but she couldn't get the ball into the net, and there's 40 seconds remaining for the West Coast Cobras to go into the second half with a 1-1 scoreline. Otherwise, they're going to be trying to make up the score deficit, still coming straight into the second half. McCartney finds Cochran. Mulder. Oh, that's a difficult shot to make at the best of times. Trying to shoot from halfway. Baker plays ball out of play. McCartney has Cochran left. Cochran on the ball. Mulder. Flick over the top for the run of Cochran. That was a great ball from Kazan Mulder. Waltman finds Clayton, but Clayton's pass for Priato out of play. McCartney, ball over the top. Messiah will collect. Clayton. Only a few seconds remaining. And that is the halftime whistle. We'll be back in just a moment with the first half stats for you. first half stats on the screen for you now. The attempted passes, Western Devils 125 to the West Coast Cobras 129. West Coast Cobras just slightly ahead in that stat and slightly behind in the percentage possession. 50.5% possession to the Devils over 49.5% to the West Coast Cobras. And total shots, Cobras slightly dominating in that stat with 12 shots over the Devils 7, and 5 of those shots for the Cobras on target, 3 of the Devils on target. The West Coast Cobras are creating some really good opportunities for themselves. Just need to have a little bit more accuracy in front of goal, and they will definitely have a chance of taking away the 3 points from this game. The Western Devils only having dropped 3 points so far this season. And Devils have the second half kickoff. Cobras looking to put pressure on straight away. Leyland, ball over the top, finds Ranieri. Oh, Ranieri could have easily brought that ball down and got control, waited for a runner to come on. Western Devils side kicking. Waltman. Lai does well to keep the ball in play, and that's out of play off the back foot of Lai there. Ranieri. Cochrane. Brooke. McCartney. Flick over the top, and it falls to the hands of Messiah. Cochrane pressing up on Clayton. Oh, and McCartney's given Lai too much room here. The same thing, Ranieri giving Clayton too much room up the top there. Again, continuation of what we've seen in the first half. A bit of sloppy pressure from the West Coast Cobra side. And a poor pass from Waltman. Sees Brooke driving forwards. Oh, and she tries to play a ball through Clayton. It's intercepted. The Western Devils now have a chance to attack. McCartney to Cochrane. Ranieri. McCartney. Brooke. Gets past Waltman. Can't keep the ball in play. Oh, and it's a free kick for the West Coast Cobras side. Not quite sure why. Don't think that Waltman changed the angle of her run. Brooke played the ball past her and then had to go around her. Handball given to the Western Devils. Waltman can't get around Kazan. Mulder takes the ball to the face, and that is out of play. Priato, flick over the top. Touchdown play by McCartney. McCartney driving forwards, back to Kant. Ball down the line, finds McCartney, does well to get past Lai. can't get through Priato, and a bit of panic there from Priato, sending the ball out of play. Leyland. Ball forward to McCartney. She can't keep that in play. Priato. Baker. Baker looking for a diagonal ball, and there's no runners there. Leyland. Lai. Intercepts. Priato. Baker. And it's a bit of better pressure. Oh, just as I say that, can't. Steps right off Priato. Gives her time and space. Puts the pressure back on, and Priato plays the ball out of play. Ranieri. McCartney. Flick down the line. And there's no one there for the Cobras.
Kazan the sub. Press!
Mulder puts the pressure on Clayton, but dives in for the tackle. McCartney. Great read by Andrea Priato, getting in front of Mulder. Priato, McDowell, back to Priato. Intercept by McCartney, has Kant on the other side of the court. Priato puts in the tackle. McCartney, Ranieri, Kant, Ranieri, finds Mulder in the middle of the court, and Waltman driving now. Goes back to Baker. Looking for the long ball forwards. Leyland. Ball cut out by Clayton, and that ball from Waltman way too far out in front of Clayton. McCartney's ball intercepted by Clayton. Priato. Clayton again. Waltman making her way to the back post. Clayton tries to play back to Priato, and it's touched out of play by McCartney. Clayton, ball across the face blocked. She manages to flick another ball in the middle, but Waltman can't get her head on that one. Mulder flicks forwards. Messiah gets hands on. Priato, flick. Waltman, great read by Mulder. Clayton. Flick intercepted by Kant, and she has a kick in. Waltman finds herself in front of goal. Leyland does well. Sliding out to the edge of her D. Oh, and just slipping out of the hands of Leyland there. Clayton. Ball down the line. 1-2 with Waltman. Clayton runs herself into trouble. Mulder does well to muscle herself on the ball. Flick forwards. Messiah plays forward to Priato. Flick over her head. Clayton can't get the shot off. McCartney to Mulder, and Mulder firing that ball straight into the face of Clayton. Clayton stepping off the court. Lie back on. McCartney. Mulder. Flick over the top. McCartney. Sends that one into the side netting. Messiah restarts play. Baker. Waltman. Priado sends down the line, but no one's there. And a rush pass from Leyland with an easy intercept for Baker. Priado. Ball in the middle. Little touch from Baker, but she can't get the ball under control. Brooke. Can't. Ball down the line for McCartney. Pressure by Waltman. Waltman touches out of play. Mulder. Flick over the top. Cut out by Lai. Priado brings the ball down. Back to Baker. Oh, and that's a poor pass from Baker. The idea was there, looking for the run of Laura Waltman. Brooke. McCartney. Can't. Brooke gets herself back on the ball, intercepted by Baker. Lai, her ball intercepted by McCartney, and there's a battle here. McCartney comes away with it. McCartney looks to go around Waltman, finds Mulder. Great turn by Mulder. Oh, she just needed to go backwards there, and she could have kept possession. Khan and McCartney were both showing feet for her. Baker finds Waltman. Oh, and the ball across the face, little touch from Kant. Mulder puts in the tackle, and the Western Devils aren't happy with that one, but it was a 50-50 ball, shoulder to shoulder, and I definitely don't think that Mulder put too much effort into it for it to be a free kick. And timeout called by the Western Devils. The West Coast Cobras bench talking about defending the target up top, pivot up top from the Western Devils, getting themselves in front of that player and making sure that she can't easily get the ball to her feet. The whistle to call teams back onto the court. And teams again quite slow moving.
Cobras, let's go.
Lie to Clayton. Clayton wide to Waltman. Waltman looking for that diagonal ball, cut out by Cochrane. Cochrane, touch back to Kant. Brooke. Kant. Great little screen run there by Brooke. Kant looking for the ball across to Cochrane. Wasn't on, and McCartney was wide open right next to her. Clayton sending a ball forwards, and McDowell sends that one over the bar. Leyland finds McCartney, who can't get the ball under control. Great ball from Clayton to McDowell, and it'll be a side ball for the Western Devils here. Waltman. Clayton, small deflection there. I think it was off West Coast Cobras player. Almost catching Leyland off guard. Waltman with the shot. Can't. Looking for the run of Brooke. Lai takes a touch. Can't with the shot. And that's an easy pickup by Messiah.
Marco, that's it. Marco, next one. Step up. Step up on that touch, unless I play it long. 4 seconds.
Can't. McCartney. Wide to Cochrane. Cochrane does well. Oh, and Marco can't. Very, very deep on the court here. Oh, looking to sub off. McCartney, shot blocked by Clayton. Side ball taken by Ranieri. McCartney. Ball through to Cochrane. Can't get it under control. Priato finds Clayton. Brooke shows some great strength there. Touches the ball out of play. Clayton on the side ball. Priato. Waltman. Priato, who's extremely deep. Priato, ball forward, cut out by Brooke, but she does well to win it back. And Priato with the shot. Block put in by McCartney, and McCartney forced to play that ball out of play. And Clayton sending that ball into the D. Cochrane in front of Priato. Gets the ball through the legs of Priato. Cochrane with the shot to the back post, and Brooke was there. All she needed to do was get a toe. And it's a corner ball for the West Coast Cobras. Excellent play by Shelby Cochrane there. Ranieri sending that ball over the bar.
Cross, cross. In front of him. Press, press.
Cobras looking to press. Clayton forced to send the ball long. Brooke, touch back to McCartney. Ranieri, McCartney again. Cochrane a little bit too deep there. Brooke gets her shot off. And that one's straight across the face. Cochrane gets herself on the ball. Ranieri in the middle, back out to Cochrane. Ranieri again, finds Brooke. Brooke needed to take a touch forwards there. And the West Coast Cobras.
Away.
Winning themselves the free kick here. Cochrane. Flick forwards for McCartney. Can't get past Waltman. Messiah. Looking for Clayton. Clayton gets on the ball. Gets her shot off. Leyland gets a hand to it. And the second goal. Again, Annie Leyland got her hands to it, but just sent it goal bound. Oops, sorry, forgot that the instant replay wasn't working. My apologies. The West Coast Cobras now forced to send Leyland forward for fifth man play as they're now 2-0 down. Missile. Waltman can't keep that ball in play. Leyland makes her way up the court again. McCartney running the fifth man. Ranieri looks for that diagonal ball and she wins the corner kick. Leyland put a ball into the middle and that'll be a Western Devils side ball. Clayton. McCartney. Crucial touch there. Leyland was still making her way back into goal. Waltman. Baker. Clayton. Baker again. The West Coast Cobras win the side kick in. Leyland makes her way up the court. Again, Cochran running the fifth man. Brooke has Leyland down the line. Back to Brooke. Brooke can touch and shoot here. Great block there by Waltman. McCartney. Brooke. McCartney again. She shoots. Leyland can't get a touch. And that should be a corner ball. Deflection definitely taken off the Western Devils there. Leyland certainly didn't get a touch on that ball. McCartney. Mulder looks to turn Baker. Oh, and she's taken a touch out of play there. McCartney will receive a yellow card. The Western Devils will retake the kick in. Clayton. Ball forward, she finds Waltman. Ranieri. McCartney, intercept by Clayton. Clayton will shoot, blocked by Ranieri. Waltman only has McCartney to beat, and she slips it into the back of the net. Just over a minute to go. Looking like the West Coast Cobras aren't going to be able to make up this deficit. According to the first half stats. Oh, my apologies. I don't know why I keep forgetting that the instant replay isn't working. Just showing you 3 replays of the men's match so far in this women's game. The shot there from Mulder. Wide. Cobras being instructed to press, and someone's lost their player because there's 2 players free up top there for Kant to press. Again, it's the pressing from the Cobras really letting them down. It's too easy for the Western Devils to get the ball out of those high areas, which is where the Cobras want to win the ball so they can get easy shots off. Not a lot of time left in this match and 3 goals to make up. Mulder finds Khan across the face and Leyland can't get there. Clayton looks to shoot, intercepted by McCartney.
Step up with the ball. Cross.
Clayton, Lie. McDowell can't get through McCartney. Lie. The Western Devils wanting to press the Cobras' fifth man plays to stop Leyland from being able to make her way up the court. Oh, can't. Takes a touch into the middle, but nobody's there. McCartney follows up, and that's out of play. Oh, I would have said that's out of play off the back foot of Baker, but referee obviously didn't have a good enough angle. And that is the full-time whistle. Score 3-0 to the Western Devils. Goal scorers Laura Waltman, 1 goal. Penelope Clayton with 1 goal and an own goal. I think that's probably awarded for the second goal, where Leyland caught the ball and then somehow lost it again, sending it into the back of the net. And the full-time stats on the screen for you now. As you can see, the Western Devils caught up with the attempted passes. They were just a little bit behind in the first half, and same with possession. Total shots, though, the Cobras still ahead, 17 total shots over the Devils, 14, but shots on target, West Coast Cobras, only 7 shots, and the Devils getting off 8 shots on target. Just goes to show that the patience in front of goal really makes a difference in these games. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back in just a moment with some more Futsal Superliga.